What's going on, everyone? This is Ferd with a little report on some EV stocks that you may want to look into. Now, obviously, Tesla is the number one, the Apple of EV or what have you. You have Ford, you have Toyota, some other pretty big companies, Honda, of course, that are in the EV space. But there are some other companies that you could look into that aren't trade as high as those stocks. But we're going to look at kind of what the forecasts or financials over those three companies are. So without further ado, let's get into it. But before I do that, I want to take a real quick look at the market as a whole. So let's take a look at the market. I'm on Bloomberg right now, and it looks like the S&P is down by almost a full percent. The Nasdaq's down by 1.26%. We got the 10-year up 4.3%. That's really high. That's going to affect mortgage rates for sure. And crude is approaching $90 a barrel. So just some things to kind of be aware of in the overall financial market. It looks like there's just fear of basically everything falling apart with interest rates kind of going higher than expected. And that is kind of your mid-afternoon, or so I guess your afternoon market update for that. But without further ado, let's take a look at some stocks that I've been kind of watching for a while. First is Fisker Automotive here. So I'm on Google's financial kind of docs here, or search engine here, looking at Fisker. This was once I guess you want to say a COVID darling. This stock shot up all the way to like $22 a share. Fisker, as you know, has kind of a background of being one of the first automotive companies years ago, founded by Henrik Fisker and his wife, Geeta Gupta Fisker. It was launched in 2016 in Manhattan Beach. I guess you guys don't really care about that type of stuff, but let's look at the quarterly financials as of June 2023. Now, it looks to be on the up and up. Revenue is up 825,000. That's an 8,150% increase year over year. Net income is negative. However, that is 22% year over year here. And net profit margin is minus 10,012.97%. But we're up almost 100% year over year. As you can see, this is kind of an important thing with a growing company. Net change in cash, yes, they are bleeding money, but at least the amount of money being bled is down. However, this is kind of concerning here. Cost of revenue is up $760,000 or at $760,000 for June of 2023. That's an increase of 9,400%. So it kind of offsets these numbers, in my opinion, here. But let's just kind of get into kind of the, just kind of looking over the past year's performance here and quarterly financials. Let's take a look at Fisker itself. Type in the website here. Yeah, so I'm not sure. I didn't really look into the amount of cars they've sold, but this is the car itself. They're partnering up with a company, I believe, in Germany to actually produce the cars itself. Let's see the reservation here. You can reserve one. It's a pretty cool looking car, I guess. How much does it cost to reserve one here? And this is their main one. So it takes about $250 to put down on deposit. So the cost of a Fisker is around 103, but the Fisker Ocean is around 37,000. So I think Fisker is trying to get into that mass production market. It's an okay looking car. I mean, I probably wouldn't buy one just due to the styling of it. And I haven't seen any on the road. So it'll be fascinating to kind of watch that kind of whole, this company as a whole. Let's see. I mean, it trades around $6 a share, which, yes, it's cheap. However, I mean, looking at the 1 year kind of performance, it's been kind of hovering around that point. It, kind of the same thing with all of these kind of stocks. You're really going to have to get into seeing if the cash is burning, how much compensation the CEOs are getting, which I'm going to get into in the next bit here. And, I think the easiest eye test literally is to see if the car's on the road. This this company is based in California. So if you are in California, you're not seeing a lot of these on the road. I probably wouldn't get into it, but just highlighting an EV stock alternative to Tesla here for something you guys to look at. And next up, one of my favorite companies, Lucid. It's down around 23 cents today, but let's look more about the financials here. So let's see. Oh, so I'll go back. Okay, financials. So we're not doing so well as year over year as of June 2023. I think there's a lot of, I would say hype, but hope for this company. Revenue is up 55% year over year, 150 million. Net income is down 764 million. That's a 246 decrease in net income. Now, this is kind of indicative of, I think the company is really trying to really market the car itself, the Lucid car itself. So with marketing and not having probably a lot of production or trying to push production, it's probably why their net income's down so much. Let's see. Net profit margin is down 123% year over year. It's a minus 506% year over year case there. Operating income is down 836 million. That's a negative. Yeah, it's almost a negative billion. 49% down year over year. Net change in cash, though, is up 183%. They have 1.88 billion in cash. So again, I haven't dug into the financials a ton. However, if 1.88 billion is in the banks as of right now, that means they may have maybe 6 months to a year, just burning cash for right now. So they're going to really have to ramp up sales to get that cash flow going again. Cost of revenue is up 90% year over year, up $500 million. So it's not the best numbers you want to see. I really like this company just due to the technology that they have versus a Tesla, for example. This Lucid EV. Okay. The base Pure has an estimated driving range of 410 miles. The Grand Touring and Grand Touring Performance models have up to 516 miles of one charge. And so the charge anxiety that people have, that alleviates that with the number one kind of model. The Pure is kind of their mid-range model. So, I mean, 410 miles is pretty good as well for a car that costs around 73,000. These guys get up into the 150 to $200,000 range, depending on what kind of specs you want to have. But the technology is far more superior than their kind of counterparts. But the other thing with Lucid is what I was going to kind of go into here. Recently, the CEO of Lucid has kind of gotten a lot of flack. As you see here, Lucid's CEO's 379 million annual pay draws criticism from Elon Musk. Now, a lot of that's compensation based in the stock. So he gets paid out that much based on how the stock performs. And if you guys don't know, but the Saudi investment fund has a huge investment into Lucid as well. So he has that pressure from the Saudi Arabian, kingdom or what have you. That's something kind of look at, and it puts a little bit of pressure on him, I would say, for sure. But it's not 379 million in cash that he's just taking from the company so far as what we know. But and last but not least, this is actually probably my favorite company to invest in right now as far as EVs are concerned. It's Rivian. And before I get into that, I just wanted to say thanks for watching our little 10-minute video. And if you could do this, that would be really great. I would really appreciate it. And again, Rivian, it's around 22 bucks a share here. I'm seeing a lot of these vehicles on the road. So the typical eye test for me is if, is the product, out in the open market. And for sure, I think with the onset of kind of Rivian trucks, that they make a truck and an SUV basically, and I'll show you guys in a second. But I think it's attractive to EV customers because, there's not a lot of trucks on the market right now. I know Tesla's brought out a new market or a new truck, and it just looks kind of odd to me personally. But the Lucid the Rivian truck here, I'll show you real quick. It's a pretty cool looking truck. It's very attractive. I actually rode in one the other day, and it's got some power, and it's a truck that's kind of garnered towards like maybe not mass hauling or like construction, but it's got a pretty small bed here, but there it almost fits like an SUV as far as capacity for a five-seater. It's just a really fun looking car. The CEO of the company is very innovative. I'll show you a picture of the SUV. And it's pretty affordable, I would say. I know there's resales here for 101,000 showing, but the price of this rig is around 73,000 to $100,000. So it's pretty affordable for an EV. I know that sounds kind of crazy, but I mean, if you look at the Ford Lightning SU or Ford Lightning truck, I mean, that's MSRP is 73,000 for a Ford. No hate on Ford, but I just can't imagine wanting to pay 73 grand for a Ford truck that is kind of their base model, nothing really else. But and let's take a look at Rivian's kind of financials real quick. Okay, so a lot of green here. Revenue is up 207% year over year in June. Net income is negative 1.2 billion, but as you know, with all these companies that you see negatives in, it's for growing companies that are in pretty competitive environments, especially with automotives. You have to put in a lot of cash and just hope that you're on the right kind of track. Diluted earnings per share, when we're looking at that, net profit margin, so it's negative 106%, but it looks like, so what this is an indicator of is that the cost, or sorry, the net profit that they're making on each car sold, it's increasing as the years go by. And so what that means is they're getting more efficient on either producing or negotiating prices for the cost of the product, which is a good thing. You want to see this going up. And it's just going to go up if the company does well. Operating income is still at negative 1.28 billion, 24.77% year over year increase. Cost of revenue is not as much as our peers Lucid and Fisker, but 43% increase year over year. It's at 1.53 billion. I don't know why this is. I guess they don't have any cash on hand. I'm not sure exactly. That's how I kind of read it, but that's a little concerning. I'd have to dive a little bit deeper next time to see why exactly they don't have any cash on hand here. But yeah, just kind of wanted to go over a couple stocks with you guys today. A little quick 15-minute video. I do appreciate you guys all watching. We're going to be on today at 4:30 Pacific, 7:30 Eastern time live with Brad. I hope you guys all have a great day, and thanks for watching.